بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله وصلى الله وسلم على سيدنا محمد رسول الله وعلى آله وأصحابه وأزواجه وذرياته ومن والاه. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. I don't know if it's me or everybody shares with me this year the feeling that Ramadan has gone by really every year we say the same, I know, so I'm not trying to say, I have never said it before. But it seems that this year is really faster than other years. I'm just opening my eyes and we are 25th already. And, if we're wrong by our calculation, we're 27th. And if, man. Ramadan has come and gone. In the old days, in the old countries, they used to actually do bid farewell to Ramadan. The last 10 days, they would do the wida of Ramadan. Because it's not easy to come, this guest of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that came to us, it comes with a guest from Allah ta'ala comes with lots of things, lots of rahmah, lots of maghfirah, lots of barakah, lots of things, and subhanallah, it's leaving us. And something about the barakah is experienced but not seen. So Allah Ta'ala help us. May Allah Ta'ala keep us till the next year with our iman and our health. The last 10 days of Ramadan are special. We were talking, me and Shaykh Majid earlier, and he said that Allah Ta'ala asked people to be with him for all their lives. Yani worship Allah their lives. And then, talks about the month, 1 month, Shahru Ramadan. And then from 1 month, 1 night. 1 night maybe we can, but we have 10 nights really. والنبي صلى الله تعالى عليه وعلى آله وأزواجه وسلم 10 nights he has told us about them. And these 10 nights are really important. I know we still have few nights left of them. And the reason I'm saying this is, there is a graveyard here a Muslim graveyard in Arkansas, isn't there? Go ask them, would you like to have an opportunity to have an extra few last nights of Ramadan with Allah? Ask the people who passed away if they would like to have few extra nights of Ramadan. Nights where you know that Allah Ta'ala grants extra mercies and extra things. And these nights, and Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, as you all know, the dua that's known, Allahumma innaka afuwan kareemun tuhibbul afwa fa'fu anna, right? Allahumma innaka afuwan kareemun tuhibbul afwa fa'fu anna. Allahumma innaka afuwan kareemun tuhibbul afwa fa'fu anna. Things that we should really know and remember and repeat. But Allah does not want you to repeat with your tongue as much. That's not the emphasis. طبعا the dhikr part of it is tongue. Like notice Allah Ta'ala, what does He say? لِيَبْلُوَكُمْ أَيُّكُمْ أكثر عملا or أحسن عملا. أحسن عملا. It's not about the quantity that you're doing. How many times you say now in these nights, astaghfirullah, 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 astaghfirullah. Good. More the merrier. The more the better. But the point is not just more. Ahsan. Is your second istighfar ahsan from the first? Is the second amal ahsan? Or are you just doing akthar, not ahsan? I think that's something, and these nights we're here. Allah knows, I don't know if this feeling that the time is shorter is a sign of acceleration of time. You know how there is tasaru' al-zaman business that some of the hadith talk about. And that the time actually accelerates eventually. So that, I don't know if that's the case or that's because we're older. We feel that things are going just faster. Or I don't know how children and young people feel. Maybe we should ask them if time is really going fast or time is going slow for them. But anyway, I think it's really important to appreciate the time. That one thing that we can never get back is time. And these last 10 nights, time is really, 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 really precious. And Allah Ta'ala wants you to come and devote some time with Him. He wants you detached from everything and be with Him. Even if it's few minutes. أحسن عملا. amongst these nights, the nights of Laylatul Qadr, the last 10 nights, as the Prophet ﷺ mentions. Yeah, and to imagine someone tells you on the creation level, Wallah ta'ala laysa kamithlihi shay. And on a creation level, someone tells you, I'm going to give you, $100,000. I need you just to stick at my door for 10 days. 10 days, 100,000, you're looking at, said that's $10,000 a night. I'm in. Sleep, not sleep, food, not food, I'll worry about it after 10 nights. Inshallah, in Shawwal, I'll sleep. Right now, I'm out there at your door. I'm not moving from here. Well, Allah Ta'ala, then Allah Ta'ala has guaranteed you that Laylatul Qadr is coming in one of these nights. It's a guarantee. Taharruha, there is a command. It's a guarantee it's coming. And it's coming for our benefit, for your benefit, for your children's benefit, for your grandchildren's benefit if you bring them as well and you make dua for them. It's an awful waste of life and time if we miss out on nights like these and the last nights, even after the night as well. But I want to encourage myself and you to really take time with Allah. You take time alone with Allah. Detach. If you need to turn that phone off, turn it off for those few hours. Nothing's going to happen. The world will not collapse in few hours. You all remember, many of you remember times when we did not have any cell phones. I remember when I came here in the late 80s. Abu Umar remembers. Yeah, we had what? We had then the 90s, the pagers came, if you remember. Oh, we didn't have phones. We had to go look for public phones and put 25 cents in the public phone. No problem. Who cares? Today we have all these things. Sometimes we need to detach from all these things that are taking us away from Allah, because the way things designed today is to rob you from every minute but to be present with Allah. Even in the salah we're not present. Teet, 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 teet. You see the phones going off everywhere. Right? And I think we need to give some time to Allah, because eventually all these teet, all these things will stop. There's not going to be anything. It's going to be you and Allah Ta'ala anyway. So I think this is these some of the nights. I want to encourage myself and you. Salamun hiya hatta matla'i al-fajr. Remain. But put time with Him subhanahu wa ta'ala. Take a corner. Talk to Him subhanahu wa ta'ala. Ask Him to forgive you. You have needs. Ask Him. You have wants. Tell Him. But most importantly, bring your heart closer to Him. Don't just ask Him to give you. Ask subhanahu wa ta'ala Him to forgive you and bring you closer to Him. If you have Allah, you have not missed anything. And if you don't have Allah, no matter what you have of the dunya, it's not the same. Qarun had all the money. Fir'aun had all the power. But there's one thing they didn't have. Allah. Musa and Harun did not have money, nor did they have power on the apparent side. But they had Allah. Innani ma'akuma asma'u wa ara. I am with you. I hear and I see. Go. The meaning of the ayah. And then when Musa and Harun went, Allah is with them. In these days and times, and especially times when we're busy with everything else in this world, we're busy with our jobs, we're busy with the schools, everything taking all the time. But I'll tell you, the Prophet ﷺ was busier than us. You're worried about one household. He had 9. Not 1. 9. You have children? He also did. And the whole ummah was his children. You have a couple. You have bills to pay. You have responsibilities. He sallallahu alayhi wa sallam did too. Much more than we do. But the last 10 nights he would not spend them at home. The last 10 nights he would be in the masjid sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. And he would wake up the family. And he would spend that time with Allah. And he is the messenger sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Sayyidul Anbiya. Khayru khalqillah alayhi wa sallam. Still he is there. So nobody says, hey, but I have things to do, my schedule is tight. I have responsibilities, ya akhi, I have things. These things can wait, because some time will come when all these things will have to be on a stop button. They will stop. It will come and they will stop. It doesn't matter. Mid-sentence, it'll stop. Time to go. These nights is where we capitalize. These last 10 nights. There's not much left. There's actually 5 left. Maybe 4. Maybe less. Allah knows. I'm giving advice to myself first. Wallahi, it's not worth it. Spend some time with Allah. I'm not telling you to do anything else. Whatever you want to do, do. But spend some time with Allah. Cry your heart out to Him. Speak to Him, subhanahu wa ta'ala. He's closer to you than you are to yourself. He's kind unto us despite our public disobedience of Him. He's there. Let me just mention something we did at Madina Atlanta, your sister city. I had them plaster the names of all the Sahaba who participated in Badr, the Battle of Badr. The 313. We have one wall. We put the names of every single one based on their tribes and their tashkil also in the army. Where they stood, where their position was. All of them. Al-Aws, wal-Khazraj, wal-Muhajirin. Who was the flag bearer of the tribe? Who was the shaheed amongst the tribe? All of them. Those 313, as Imam Muslim narrates in his Sahih, the Prophet ﷺ came to the Sahaba and told them who's going. And some people had genuine excuses. And some people had excuses. I don't know. I'm not saying genuine or not genuine. They had excuses. 313 eventually end up going. 313, Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam says about them that Allah Ta'ala has forgiven all their sins and granted them Jannah just because they appeared in that time obeying Allah and His Messenger. Just because when they had a choice to choose between dunya and akhirah, they had the dunya. They saw, we've seen the dunya, we've had so much dunya, we're so sick by the dunya, and the dunya is making us sick too. We're not, it's just, and we're taking in, and we're taking in. And, you know, it seems never enough. And in the old country, in Syria, in the old days, they used to say, those who, they don't know when to stop, but they don't know how to balance their lives. Nothing will fill their eyes except the sand. Meaning when they get buried under the soil. That's the only thing that will fill their eyes. They'll still be blinded by the world. And I'm not saying don't seek dunya, please do. Islam doesn't want you to be poor. Islam wants you to be rich if that's what you like. Islam wants you to be educated. اليد العليا خير وأحب إلى الله من اليد السفلى وفي كل خير. لكن Islam also wants you to balance. وابتغ فيما آتاك الله الدار الآخرة ولا تنس نصيبك من الدنيا وأحسن. أحسن. Always have this ihsan, this balance. كما أحسن الله إليك. So I think in these times, for the sake of our children and for the sake of our grandchildren, these nights for the sake of your parents as well. Are you saying, wait a minute, what are you talking about? Hey, look, your parents have rights onto you. Your grandparents have rights onto you. Your parents have been there for you when you needed them most. If they're still living, they still need you now. If they're still living, they're probably old. And your dua for them tonight and any other night is something that they can actually tangibly use. Your sadaqah on their behalf tonight or any other night like these nights is something that they can actually use. They've been there for you. Hey, it's ungrateful not to be grateful to those who have stood by you. And you know, they always say, that takes me to the next one point, what goes around. When you do it to your parents in your parents' names, and when you make istighfar, Rabbi, why do you think Ibrahim tells us in the Quran al-Kareem, Rabbi irhamhuma kama rabbayani saghira? Why does the Quran teach us that we make dua for our parents? Just because so we are good to our parents? That's part of it, of course. Just so that we say Rabbi, that we have a Rabb, that we seek and we implore and we ask, that's definitely part of it. But also, because when you do that to your parents, guess what? You're teaching your children indirectly that I'm doing this for my parents. and now I'm passing the torch on to you. When I die, you do that for me. It goes one generation to the other. You become the gap. Not only that you do lose out on this, but then you are the cause for the loss in the whole chain after you until the end of your offspring, until the day of judgment. The masjid in the old time of the Prophet ﷺ was not just a prayer hall like sometimes we make today. And it should not be. And that's not the position, that's not the point why Medina opened in the first place, as you all know. Medina is an institution, not just a prayer hall. And that's exactly the way it ought to be. Where things, we try to bring ourselves back, to balance back. So we don't, because today we've made the masajid in general in North America. I've been here 30 years and many of you have, so you all know. We've made them two things. First, rituals. So we do the ritual things and we think that the rituals, without the element that takes the people and guide them towards Allah, matters. And then we do the socials. We figured people are not coming for the rituals because they're coming to the rituals, they're praying, there's nothing. There's no element of guidance to Allah. No one is pointing them to Allah. No one's telling them, son, like the old days, irshad, guidance. You need to do this to go to Allah Ta'ala. You should do this. This is how it is. Going to Allah is not how many rak'ahs you pray, but where do you have your heart? Do you have your heart with Allah, Rabbul Alameen? Are you really seeking Him? Are you really imploring Him? Are you really begging Him? Are you talking about Him or are you talking to Him? Now these may seem trivial, but they're absolutely the core of our faith. You can pray for 15 million years, but your heart is singing a different tune. Add 15 more million. So what? You're in the same place. And then when the rituals failed, because we focused on the rituals, let me finish with this. I don't know if I passed my time on. Please give me a sign, because you should never give. I'm done. Don't ever give a Maulana a microphone. Who will you give a Maulana a microphone, miskeen? You are torturing yourself. You call on to yourself. I mean, you have to realize these things. So you become the balance, the mind. Okay, let me say it. What I don't know even. I didn't even know what was I saying? Anybody remembers? Now, so when the rituals did not work, because we're bringing people and we're saying, let's pray. Yallah, let's finish the Quran. We finish the Quran. Let's pray this. Let's do this. Let's fast. So we're ritualizing the faith, right? We're ritualizing it. And when the rituals are not working, so we're resorting to the social. Let's make the masjid a social place. So one time we make a gym, the other time we make a club, one time we make everything possible. Let's make some social. We make the social. Then they compare the social events here, social events there, other places. It's not as juicy here. Let's go elsewhere. It's nicer. It's not as well organized. It's not as well. And all these things I always say are good. The social aspects are good because we need to socialize. We're a community, and especially us, we're a minority. The rituals are important. But if the rituals are void of the actual point of the whole faith, which is to connect the heart of the worshipper to the Creator, Allah Rabbul Alameen, directly, then all these things don't mean anything. And these mosques and everything, all the mosques will repeat. We'll see the stories that Europe saw from 1800 up until now, where gradually attendees stopped coming. The elderly are coming, the younger are no longer coming, and eventually these churches were left as heritage sites. You need to bring your heart with you in these nights. I'm telling myself. And throughout our all ibadah to Allah, you need to seek Him. You need to take a journey to Allah by yourself. No one is going to give you that. That's the whole point of the dunya. People can make it easy for you if they're right. They'll point you in the right direction. But you have to walk. You have to walk to Allah. You have to seek Allah. And you have to beg Him to give you guidance to seek Him. That's why you say, اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم. أنعمت عليهم بالهداية وأنعمت عليهم, Ya Allah, you graced them with hidayah. You graced them with health. You graced them with wealth. You graced them with a vision to know what you would like them to do. You grace them with understanding. You grace them with wisdom. You grace them with insight. You grace them with intuition, because the rest of the people are blind. صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم. This is something we ask Him subhanahu wa ta'ala. That's why we tell Him إياك نعبد وإياك. Ya Allah, help us. We can't do it. We don't know. We're helpless. Help us. So let me finish by saying this. Please, whatever time you have today, and today I'm sure you're staying the last 10 nights, all of you. Bring your for me, I like to have my one-on-one time with anyway, because I'm too weak with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to have other people with me. But also bring your family together. Tell your children to ask Allah ta'ala forgiveness and success for you and your grandparents and your parents. Teach them these things. Pass on the heritage. Don't think that they can just learn because we're naturally that something happens by osmosis. Spiritual osmosis, I mean, it rubs off, but the passage of information is a bit difficult. Passive filtration, a bit difficult. You have to put some ATP. It has to be positive. There's no other way. You have to spend some energy. It doesn't go passively. So take the opportunity. In Ramadan, Allah makes things easy too. I mean, when things are a bit cloudy, Allah makes things easier in Ramadan. Please take the opportunity for your own soul. Soul searching in Ramadan to find Allah. Be close to Him. Ask Him to forgive us. Ask Him to guide us, to guide our children, to keep us steadfast, to make us better people. That's all. وجزاكم الله خيرا وصلى الله على سيدنا محمد وآله والحمد لله رب العالمين.